And everybody, welcome to the Lukashenko Show.
Ooh, yeah.
Alexander Lukashenko is the possibly former president of Belarus. But now, as the political landscape has become unfavorable for him and his family, he is now here. Everybody give a round of applause for Lukashenko.
Thank you. Thank you for that warm welcome here in Turkey. Just wanted to take this time to say that despite the news, I am not a bad guy. I do good things. I keep my country open, and I would just like to say that my elections are very fair and good.
As we all know, you are not bad guy, but bad guy.
It's gray area, right?
And I'm Steve.
I'm Tom.
And this is Demagogue News with things you need to know about episode 47. It's on, Tom. Biden VP pick.
Yeah,
Let's go.
The countdown. It's supposed to be this week.
Yeah, I thought you read the article that said it was like today at like, what, 1 p.m.? Some shit like that?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
No,
But,
it's this week. Bummer.
Yeah, these fuckers are dragging their feet, keeping us on the edge of our seats. So, we've got, we're narrowing it down to like the final 5 possible VP picks. I'll start like from weakest to strongest. We've got Karen Bass, representative from California.
Karen Bass is still being considered?
Yeah, dude. And she's a full-on communist.
She is lefty AF.
Loves Castro. Like, he's a great guy.
Castro, great guy. My friend, buddy, Fidel Castro, was a great guy. He loved the great state of Vermont. I haven't done a Bernie in a while. Where did Bernie go?
We miss him. Come back, Bernie.
Karen Bass.
I wish he was in this list. That would be amazing.
Well, he's not a woman.
Yeah.
It has to be a woman
Why
of color.
can't he identify as one?
Because remember in the UK that guy identified as a woman then beat the female deadlifting record.
But that sounds amazing.
Yeah, he was a rat. Yeah. So I don't see why Bernie couldn't say I am now a 56-year-old woman from California. That'd be great.
I guess I guess the ridiculousness can only go so far.
Yeah, I guess.
Coming in at number 4, we've got Tammy Duckworth, a representative from Illinois. She's an Asian female, lost 2 legs in Iraq, so she's got that military history. Very anti-Trump, which is always
she's
a good thing
Asian,
for them.
so she's not a minority.
I mean, she is just not the right kind for them.
Yeah, so I don't lost 2 legs in Iraq, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool. Representative Illinois. Okay, that actually might not be terrible. Is she just classic Democrat?
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's probably not going to get the nod because she's not the right kind of minority, like we said.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though.
Number 3 is our girl, Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan.
Our favorite governor. Absolutely our favorite.
Whitmer would possibly be a good choice if Biden's trying to win Michigan, which I've heard that, but I don't get because a lot of people don't like her there.
Yeah, but you're gonna have her as a governor for one state that has 12 electoral votes. Not a lot.
I mean, they're, I want to say 8th or 9th in population in the country.
Okay, so they got 25 electoral votes. It's not. I mean, cool, but
it'd be a good state for him to get.
Michigan.
Yeah.
So I can also imagine people fucking hate Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
She's done a terrible job of doing coronavirus relief, and she's gone full authoritarian.
Yeah, definitely. My words are not suggestions. Whoa.
Yeah, no, this is my command. I make the rules here. Who's your daddy? Me, Gretchen. That's how she's running Michigan.
I'm your daddy. Number 2, I hear this name keep throwing around. I don't know why I put it so high in the power rankings, but Stacey Abrams, state representative from Georgia, state senator, I think.
So you have no faith in Susan Rice then?
No, yeah, dude. Why did I say Stacey Abrams? Yeah. Scratch that number.
Stacey Abrams.
Definitely
yeah,
Susan Rice. Susan Rice. She has a long history with Biden.
They worked together when she was in the UN, so they have a relationship already.
Yeah,
it's not going to be manufactured. They probably have met many times.
Definitely. And she's a black woman, which is also good. The only problem is that she was tied in with the Benghazi debacle and totally didn't take responsibility. No, it wasn't solely her fault.
No, and many people didn't take responsibility. So that's not like it's a rare thing. You didn't take responsibility either? Yeah, nobody did. It was hush-hush for a while.
But also, she's never run for public office, so she's not exactly like well versed in campaigning, nor is she like she brings something to be attacked. Benghazi,
Right, and she's a classic bureaucrat that's just been put places. We don't know necessarily if she earned because she's done some big things in the UN. So I bet she might be good at politics or being able to speak.
International relations, yeah.
Right, that wouldn't be a bad
I
idea.
mean, yeah, if I were president, I would withdraw us from the UN, but that's just personal opinion.
So what would we do with the UN tower in New York?
Destroy it. Probably turn it into a new Trump tower.
Trump Resort. International, truly. Just keep the flags up front. is an international Trump hotel.
And number 1. I don't know why she's the most highly considered. Kamala
It was your
Harris.
favorite. It was your favorite. Kamala Harris has absolutely been your favorite for months.
She has been my favorite, and I would like that to be his VP pick. But there's a plethora of reasons why Joe Biden should not pick her.
1, not the smartest crayon in the box.
Oh yeah, definitely
There's better
not the
options.
best debater for sure. Like Susan Rice is way sharper than Kamala.
Law enforcement. 2.
Yeah, locking away nonviolent drug criminals.
Right.
Not a good thing to have on your record.
And then was lambasted about it during a DNC debate, and you said squat about it. And that's all we remember of Tulsi Gabbard is the one time she roasted her.
Yeah, and that destroyed, after that, nobody was voting for Kamala.
No.
So, also, she's a senator from California, a state that is very solidly Biden, so that brings nothing new to the table.
Right, you're not earning anything. You would already have those electoral votes to begin with, because, California's going to be red?
Yeah.
No, it's funny joke.
Jokes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, last but not least, Joe Biden doesn't really have to fight for the black vote either.
You don't think so?
Nah, not really.
I don't. There's a lot of black Twitter. I'm real happy with these stimulus checks. A lot of funny stuff coming from there.
No, hopefully they show out.
Right? They rock the vote. Maybe they can change some things.
Those are current power rankings.
That's most power rankings too. No one has any other names really, because there's not a lot of.
What are you gonna say? Keisha Lance Bottoms? Get the fuck out of here.
There's not a lot of good prospective names that are women of color that you could pick that would be a good choice for you as a vice president. There's really not a lot out there.
Oprah Winfrey.
Michelle Obama. Let's go. Michelle. Let's say, bring back the Obamas. That's America's favorite black family.
Yeah, since Bill Cosby came out as a rapist, it's not the
right.
hospital.
He's not America's dad anymore. Obama's now America's black dad. Apparently, they started a podcast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Michelle Obama has a podcast along with her husband Barack.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be great. The podcast from the White House from the first husband. What's he gonna do? For the vice husband?
What do you call him? The first? I think in South Park they call it the first gentleman.
So isn't it? Vice president isn't the second lady? Isn't Pence's wife the second lady?
So it'd be second man.
Second man, the best man, good guy.
Oh, Alex.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about him real fast?
Oh, yeah. So the whole joke we had in the beginning here, if you didn't know, because maybe we're telling it to you for the first time, Belarus has fallen apart, basically.
It's a failed state.
It's become the failed state because the government has basically left.
Yeah. Lukashenko was in power for the past 25 years. He's pretty much right after the Soviet era. He's a dictator, and he's been called Europe's last dictator.
Not good guy.
Yeah. Which, if you consider Russia part of Europe, then Putin, or plus, they didn't even.
Russia,
mention,
I think just by itself. I think Russia just.
Or Hungary, that's another dictatorship, basically.
That's recent for the coronavirus. Yeah. Him making himself president for life during the coronavirus.
And nobody talked about that. That was a good story. But regardless, Lukashenko, had a very hotly contested election, and then protests broke out, and he fled to Turkey.
Wait, his elections, did he win?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Just, I don't know.
Yeah,
but people didn't like that. Yeah, tens of thousands in the streets. None of the small protests here in the U.S. Tens of thousands. And apparently, he's fled to Turkey.
It's a good vacation spot.
I mean, what, Erdogan's going to help you?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Good guy, yeah.
He likes dictatorships.
Turkey already went through a coup. Yeah. Remember when that happened? Tanks on the
crazy.
Streets. And he was live streaming saying that he's alive. Don't believe any lies from the media. That was weird. So yeah, Belarus. What is with these Eastern Bloc countries? If there's gonna be a great war, it's gonna happen over some silly little thing in the Balkans. I think Otto von Bismarck said that, and that started World War One. So Ukraine, Belarus? Why is all this bullshit happening over there?
Because it's like an eternally fucked part of the world.
It must be Kosovo. We had a thing. Serbians, man, they're really like to stir the pot.
Oh yeah, dude, the Serbs. Where's the Black Hand at? And introducing our band, the Black Hand,
straight out of Sarajevo. Gavrilo Princip has a statue in Sarajevo.
Seriously?
He does.
Wild.
Yeah, the guy who kicked off World War I has a statue in Sarajevo.
Yeah, what a good guy.
Good guy. Great guy.
Speaking of protests, Beirut has also erupted in protests. So the government just quit. They just left.
Oh, yeah. So if you didn't know, something bad happened in Beirut a couple days ago. Not great at all. Possibly a small small explosion by the military of Israel, possibly Mossad. Who knows? I think the count is like 7,000 injured. I don't know about the death count, but it's not great. And the government immediately put in like a state of emergency, but apparently they can't handle it and amidst claims of corruption. Most of the government resigned.
And that's it. Lebanon just doesn't have a government, so
that's gonna be great.
There's people out in the street with makeshift gallows that say like leave or hang, basically.
Yeah. So the people have now quickly ousted the government. I don't know how they're gonna reclaim that.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna get basic things to function without a government.
Right. Like who makes sure the money gets spent you got to spend money in a government.
I mean,
how do you spend it if no one's there to take the check or
probably Hezbollah?
Yeah, there you go. Hezbollah will now just take over Lebanon.
Yep.
And we'll have a
a
new caliphate.
Sounds like World War III to me.
Some silly thing in the Middle East. We'll start World War III. God, that's been true for the past 30 years. Something stupid happens in the Middle East, and it's all over from now.
I think that was a Louis C.K. punchline. Everything was different in the 70s except for the Middle East. That was exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much. Everything's different except for the Middle East. So world governments are kind of getting a little shaky right now. That's interesting.
Yeah, internationally things are pretty unstable. But the U.S. is
Let's talk domestically.
Oh boy! So in the great city of Chicago,
the Windy City,
allegedly, a man was shot by police.
It happens in Chicago.
So again, this gets really eerie and creepy because we've been saying on our show that these protests, they definitely seem very well orchestrated.
Oh yeah. Let's pretense that most of these protests, even the ones I was at in Las Vegas, there was a surprising amount of intelligence to it. Like things were being moved into certain ways. And then there was the whole thing with the bricks being dropped
pallets
off.
of bricks just being in these areas.
In these hotspot places where things were happening, and that was fucking weird. Possibly a police officer or someone undercover burnt that AutoZone down in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Had an earpiece and everything on his mask.
So in Chicago, what was failed to be reported to people was that this guy who was shot by the cops shot at the cops first.
Right, and then they went to apprehend him and shot him.
Yeah, which is what you do if you're a cop.
Right, and something bad is happening, and they did their jobs.
Yeah, if somebody points a gun at you, you have to, it's part of the job. You have to fire.
And I can only assume right now the police are perfect. Oh my gosh, police are doing it by the book to the letter.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was no funny business.
Scrutiny. So the weird lie that was spread out, though, was that they shot a child.
And killed a child.
Yeah, and killed a kid.
No, the person that they shot, they did not kill. He's in the hospital.
Yeah.
So he's getting given care before he gets arrested. But the lie that was spread out by Twitter, by word of mouth, who knows?
It seems like it's been text, social media.
That the police just murdered a child.
So what happened was a whole bunch of people start going into the Miracle Mile part of downtown Chicago, which was, there's tons of nice shops, the really famous Macy's department stores there.
It's kind of like the Rodeo Drive, the nice place where everything nice is shopping and cafes and all this good stuff.
I've been there tons of times. So it's crazy to me that people just started busting the windows into these places and looting them and loading up their U-Hauls.
Yeah, apparently they had the wherewithal to think, oh, I don't have a big enough vehicle. I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul. That takes a minute to rent a U-Haul.
Mm-hmm.
And then multiple people thought the same thing. I'm gonna rent a U-Haul. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna back up my U-Haul truck close to where we're looting this Target at and throwing shit in the U-Haul. That is premeditated.
Yeah, it's really weird. Even there's even instances of people taking Ubers to go loot.
Yeah, Ubers being dropped off, and they're dropping people off that immediately went to partake in the free product that was being distributed.
So, as a response, Mayor Lori Lightfoot,
Wonderful mayor,
good
girl,
great hair salon
great.
patron.
Yep, it looks great.
She raised up the bridges that lead into downtown Chicago to sort of like trap the people, to stop people from leaving and catching them, and then to stop other people from coming. But then that begs the question: if you're just a law-abiding citizen there, you are fucked.
You are like, if you are a truck driver and you're taking a shipment away from Walmart in Chicago, like, what the fuck? We're gonna trap them all inside. Survival of the fittest. And then you have the purge burn, and the purge sound goes through the airwaves. In 24 hours of crime is permitted.
Yeah, it's eerie. And this all happened last night, like yesterday.
Yesterday.
It started in the afternoon.
Hilarious. I don't know how this isn't on our Facebook feeds.
Yeah.
That Chicago was shut down, you know, as Ben said, Ra's al Ghul style, and closed the city down. That's hella, like, that's something the Joker would do.
Yeah, it's straight out of a Dark Knight film.
I just get all my thugs inside the city of Gotham, and then I shut it down, and we run rampant and raise havoc throughout the city. Wait for bats to come get me.
So that puts Lori Lightfoot in a very difficult position because obviously she's a pretty hardline left-wing mayor.
Very Democrat mayor who's been very critical of a lot of things. I wonder if she's going to ask Trump for aid. For the damages that is going to be caused and the bills that are going to be sent to the state for what happened.
We will have to see on that. That'd be hilarious because he's already rejected Minnesota's cries for help.
Exactly. So was there any big property damage, or was it a lot of just pure retail theft?
It was mainly like capital goods. I'm sorry, consumer goods.
Consumer goods. So
taken. And it's weird that we're talking about superheroes. Part of me is thinking, did you ever see Watchmen?
Yeah.
It almost makes me think of Trump watching all this, and it's and they'll cry up and ask me for help, and I'll reply, no.
Sitting there with his arm crossed. Look at them squabble around like ants. They were gonna cry up for me. They need me, and I shall rebuke them.
And that's not even it's still going on in Portland. Remember those violent feds who were the ones stoking the fires of dissent?
Oh yeah, they left.
Portland? Yeah, they left, and kind of weird that it's still violent.
Because now the police are there trying to make sure they don't break shit, right? Because So this goes a good segue to New York. Mayor Bill de Blasio has just realized that a lot of the 1% of New York have permanently left New York, and they're not going to get any of that tax money from all these people. So they're going to go into a massive deficit. They're already in a massive deficit, and they're not going to be able to not nearly pay for all these tax things. How long will people stay in Portland before the riots have gone on in Portland for, I think, 80 days now?
It's
up there. It was in the 70s.
Yeah, it's got to be in the 70s at this point.
So how long are people going to stay in Portland working remote jobs because you can't go to work?
Yeah.
Why would you stay in Portland? There's other parts of Oregon you can go to. If you want to stay in Oregon and you live there. But why would you stay in Portland after all this shit is happening over and over and over and you're trying to raise a family?
Because Portlandia is.
Portlandia. Oh, God.
It's a great show. Yeah, that's it's funny that you were saying that about the New York City, because Bill de Blasio is basically a communist. How are you going to redistribute wealth if there's no wealth to redistribute?
Yeah, the kulaks have already left the place. So where are you gonna get all your grain from? You already taken, because eventually, you're gonna start taxing people at 70%. I'm sure New York tax for the 1% is hilarious, and they're paying a lot to have the privilege of living in New York.
Just gonna take all of Michael Bloomberg's money.
He still lives there. Hey, Michael, can we borrow $1 billion? He got 60. We just need $1 billion.
It always starts with one.
Yeah, right. It starts with one. Also happening in New York, apparently they have been reappropriating hotels in New York for the homeless population that is
Really?
in New York for the coronavirus, and they have been destroying these hotels. Multiple hotels, the 3 that are named, the names escape me right now, but they're nice places in like the Upper East Side. And apparently, people living there, it's a pretty nice area, and now it's drug use in the streets, and every park bench in Starbucks is just riddled because they're all congregated inside these hotels. So you live in a house there, you're gonna move, and that's even happening now. And people can't sell their houses because no one wants to buy that house there. Yeah, it's getting crazy in these cities, and I wouldn't be surprised if this this wealth flight will happen to other places that are not terrible.
Yeah, like the de-urbanization of America.
Yeah,
like
de-urbanization. That's a good word.
Got to see a lot of this tax revenue dry up because, like, why would you live in some of these cities that are so horribly governed?
Yeah, and it sucks to be around there, and your taxes. If you're living there and you're thinking your taxes aren't going to go up by a lot, things are going to become way more expensive. Utilities, like, you're dumb if you don't think that's going to happen in 6 months or a year. It's going to be way expensive to live there, even more so than it already is. San Francisco, oh my God. That's going to be a fire.
I mean, you're not even safe. Like, look what happened in Chicago.
No, in Chicago, what was it in the police in Minneapolis? It was a thing that they gave out like a press release about how to interact with criminals now that they're around in Minneapolis, and one of them was like, be prepared to give your phone and wallet to them.
No.
Do not fight back.
Hilarious.
Yes. They put this out like, we can't protect you, so when you interact with a criminal and they want to take the things from you, this is how you should react for your own safety. What?
Terrible.
What? Why do we even pay you? What
yeah,
the
exactly.
fuck?
Like, why are you paying taxes if you're not protected?
That, I think, was the craziest thing. At this point now, they're allowing this to happen and giving them an olive branch. Like, oh, it's okay. You can't do this. Where is integrity and reality of this? You were so angry about something that you're going to destroy and steal property? For what gain? Yourself? Because you're selfish? What the fuck?
Yeah, who's the governor of Minnesota? Like, their name escapes me.
I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
I'd say we should care. That guy's doing a fucking guy or girl's doing a shit fucking job.
It's ruining it.
Right.
Yeah, where's Amy Klobuchar been? She's been awfully quiet.
Yeah,
during all
isn't
of this.
she
Senator from Minnesota?
Yeah. She's probably at home trying to think, hope they don't come for me.
Yeah,
God.
legit.
Hope they don't realize I'm the senator of
security.
Minnesota. Or she's one of the few senators that are staying in D.C. and not going back to wherever they live in their respective cities.
That'd be smart.
Because I'm not going back there. Speaking of D.C., did you read the article that just happened? There's a shooting.
What was it? Oh, yeah. We talked about this last night, right? 21 people shot at a block party in D.C.
Right. Apparently, it was a gang dispute in D.C., and there was a block party, and one house was packed to the gills with people. Not social distancing, I must say. Terrible. Wearing a mask? Who knows? And 3 individuals shot 100 rounds into the house and hit 20 people and killed one. And one of the person's hit was an off-duty police officer who was shot in the neck. That's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
The civil unrest that's happening, or the amount of crime, I think most places are seeing 180% increase in crime during these last couple months. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's wild though. I mean, all of this is wild.
It's all wild.
Really, yeah. This is all like a plot to a movie.
Yeah, we're in clown world right now.
But speaking of clown world, and since we're in D.C. with all of this, President Trump broke the internet yet again over the weekend by Congress was gridlocked on passing a new relief package for the American people.
The HEALS Act, I believe.
And Trump was just like, fuck it. I'm signing it in. God Emperor Trump came out and decreed that we will be getting, if you are unemployed, you'll be getting $400 a week. 100 of that will be paid for by your state government. They're also rolling back payroll taxes, pushing back eviction notices, and keeping student loan interest payments to 0 until the end of the year. Yeah,
and that's a pretty big move by a president because that's appropriating a shitload of money.
It's ballsy.
And the president, as much as we make him think to be this almighty person. The president doesn't make laws, and the president doesn't enact anything.
Yeah,
He signs off on whatever is given to him by his legislation.
he's in the executive branch.
The executive branch executes whatever is the law.
Yeah, so is it constitutional? No. To be fair, though, it's not the first time a president has used executive orders. Obama did it for DACA, and he did it for background checks for firearms.
Yeah, but using an executive orders to get things done, it's every president does them. You know, the 2,000 executive orders.
It's not like the first time president's ever done this.
Right, but this is on a large scale, and I think the interesting thing is that it's being contested by the Congress, by the legislators, and he said, "You guys aren't getting it done. I'll just do it for you," and went over all their heads, and just had it done and pressed the button.
I think
that's interesting.
I think politically it's a smart move, though. I think it makes him look really good as opposed to because obviously the Dem strategy was to block it indefinitely so that people are really starting to get hurt and they associate that with Trump.
Right, because it happened during the Trump campaign.
Yeah.
I think the wild thing is that it's them being in Congress isn't a secret. You can watch C-SPAN and watch what's happening inside Congress at all times.
Most people don't.
It's just quite fucking boring because in reality, not a lot's happening. They talk about legal things, or in line 26A of the blah 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 blah. The gentleman wants to change the wording. It's very legalese. It's not very exciting.
So what was the I think that was a trivia question. Like, what percentage of time does Congress were they openly taunting
it's like
each other?
19%. Oh no, they shit talk each other 64% of the time.
Yeah, it's like what the hell? Your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, tell the gentleman to go fuck himself. What? Well, right now, what doesn't even make any sense is that when history has its eyes on you, use some Hamilton on this. Why wouldn't you be working most of the day? Or why aren't you holding session for a long period of time?
They're actually having a recess this month.
Yeah, the entire month. They're going to get nothing done for the entire fucking month.
So let me get this straight. Yeah, during a time of crisis,
shit needs to be
you
done.
take a vacation.
Gonna just sit back, crack my back, and hang out. Because fuck working. I don't want to catch the Rona.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's what I don't understand because, and the Democrats are trying to put this and that little writer thing in here to put money here and there or do things that are outlandish. So the Republicans, when they deny it, they're bad Republicans.
That's the strategy.
Yeah. So we have a Congress that's supposed to be legislating for us, and they're having a pissing contest at our behalf.
On our dime.
We even pay them the privilege to fuck with us and not get shit done when we need them the most. Politics. Amazing.
Almost makes you lose faith in democracy. I mean, maybe Lukashenko's right. Maybe you just need an authoritative system. He should have just done away with elections, personally.
It would have been very streamlined, wouldn't it? None of this business about trying to get everyone's opinion. That's too hard. Just, hey, I'm great. Don't worry about it. We'll just do what I do. I know better than all of you.
Listen to me.
Yeah. Our government's fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, they've certainly dropped the ball very often. I think it's a good move for Trump. I think he had a press conference today, and he just walked out. He was like,
he had a press conference today. Let's talk about that, Tom. He had a press conference today, and then was whisked away by the Secret Service because apparently they shot an armed gunman on the White House grounds.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Somebody, got onto the grass. Did you read that full article?
Not all of it, no.
Some bullshit's happening, bro. The pot's bubbling and the cauldron's going, and I'm just waiting to see when it fully crests over and the oil catches the fire, just explodes. The boogaloo, Tom. That's what I'm talking about.
I think he was asking a question about it, and they're like, were you rattled by that? And he's like, did I seem rattled?
Oh, they asked him about it?
Yeah.
They came back and they started taking more questions?
They asked him about it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You imagine another president being asked that? Oh yeah, were you distressed when an armed gunman was on White House grounds?
Quite pleased, actually. Thank you for that question. I appreciate it, CNN. I was actually really enjoyed that somebody was going to take me out, and try to murder me and my family.
So CNN, the man's name escapes me. I can't remember the personality on CNN. We said, there's so many news organizations designed to take down Joe Biden. How come none of this exists for Trump? was like,
Yo,
do you watch your own station?
what the fuck? I wish someone would stop this terrible man. I wish there was a media agency that would be brave enough, that would be, have the balls, the ganache, the gabagoo to stand up to this dictator, this evil orange man. If only there was a news agency that with that kind of integrity and honesty. We shall never know.
That's just flooded with Biden bashers.
Yeah, that them goddamn Fox News. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it
Who
is.
said that? Like Don Lemon said that?
No, it was the dude's a white guy. I can't remember his name.
Anderson Cooper said that?
Brian something.
Brian Boring, whoever.
Yeah, who cares?
Some nobody.
Shetler. Regardless, man, Sleepy Joe though.
Sleepy Joe. Can't even read a teleprompter now.
Yeah, can't read teleprompters. He's apparently the black community is not diverse like the Hispanic community, according to him.
I don't even know what that means. Like, there's a lot of different types of black people, a lot of different types of Hispanic people.
He's saying, it's a point of origin, and it's a belief system.
What? Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, we listed off these people. I wouldn't be surprised if the Biden campaign asks, Miss Bass, like, hey, you're VP. And she went like, nah. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm going to decline that vice presidential appointment. I don't want that. I wouldn't be surprised because they see him as just being like, oh, he's impossible. That's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you do have the off chance of becoming president.
There is still a chance. So you tell me there's a chance?
Yeah, like because he's definitely not going to make it through his term. So, if you take the VP nod, you get to be pres. And that's why I think Kamala really, really wants it.
That's like you see those couples like a 25-year-old man has found love with an 87-year-old divorcee of the Seagrams family. They're hotly in love. And you see the picture and the dude's like, you see in the eyes like, oh, he's going to get that money. He's going to get that money.
I'm about to get paid.
Oh, no prenuptial? Oh, he's going to get that money. And he knows, like, I got to wait, like, 5 more years. I got to deal with this shit for 5 years, and then, I'm going to be set for the rest of my fucking life. So Kamala's thinking, like, ooh, he'll get, like, 8 months. I'll give him 8 months, and then he's going to croak. He's gonna give up the ghost, and I'm going to be the Madame President.
Yeah, any of his
Take
VP
that, Hillary.
guys, they're all gold diggers. So we'll see what happens with Sleepy Joe. We'll see if they actually decide to waltz him out on the debate stage. I hope so. But
that's comedy gold. Comedy gold.
Look at him; he can't even talk.
So, Mr. Biden, I must ask for you. Somebody told me if they don't vote for you, they're not black. How does that work, Biden? Are you gonna suck the blackness out of them? How's that? Like, do they have to revoke their black card if they vote for me, Biden? Tell me about this, Joe. That'd be an amazing question. Oh gosh, that'd be amazing.
What's 2 + 2? 4. Too slow.
Too slow. 5. Wrong answer. 5, obviously.
I've taken the tests. Why don't you?
Yes, I've taken all the tests. I got over 100%. That's how good I was.
The greatest scores ever scored on these tests.
Over 100, 102.
Magnificent.
Greatest score. Einstein only got 87. I did amazing.
Oh man, you got anything else, Steve?
I think we're living in the greatest times. Like we've been pretty sad about it. We've been pretty bummer. Yeah, demagogue bummer sometimes at the end of these.
Yeah, occasionally we've been like a little depressed.
I think we're in the greatest times because like this is like the most exciting times. Like, wouldn't you want to be alive during the fall of Rome? Because you would live your entire life knowing one thing, and then everything changes, and you're there watching it.
Yeah, the question begs, what do you do after it falls?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you move to Gaul.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, go to Gaul.
Yeah, it's
hit up the Christians in the Vatican.
You just we certainly don't have a lack of material. I will give 2020 that. It has been our greatest contributor by far,
and greatest doom as well, because we have to live here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like if we were following Canadian politics, it'd be a lot more funnier because we wouldn't care what's happening, but we really have to care here.
I mean, as goes America, so does the world.
And that's a good way to end it. Keep your head on a swivel.